this is good. Yeah. All right, enjoy.
Welcome back to Did You Eat Yet? This is part 2 of my 4-part Oakland taco tour. Today, we're gonna get tacos around International and High Street. Only a few blocks away from our last taco tour in Fruitvale, it's another area populated with Hispanic businesses and restaurants. I grew up closer to the 580 side of High Street, but always drove down towards this way to get to school. I also lived in Alameda for a few years just before COVID hit, and would spend every weekend getting groceries from the mercados on High Street. Of course, this also meant I'd grab tacos over here all the time too. We're starting our taco tour today right on International at El Paisa, one of the most popular taquerias in the area. El Paisa has a huge menu and one of my favorite atmospheres of any taqueria in town. It's always super active, it's always lively, and you get an up-close look at the taqueros in action while they're making your tacos. I always get the suadero and lengua here. Everything at El Paisa is pretty solid, and they make a damn good burrito too. There's a ton of seating inside and outside, so it's always a spot I like to take people for solid tacos. They're open every day, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So if you're craving some really good tacos, always know that El Paisa is always an option for you if you're in town. Down a couple blocks just outside the flea market on Coliseum Way, you're gonna find some of the best food in Oakland, and that's not an exaggeration. There's tacos, barbecue chicken, empanadas, pupusas, everything you want, it's here. If you come out here on a weekend, the amount of vendors on the streets here are insane, and it's hard to pick where to even begin. We're gonna start with the Al Pastor here today. Al Pastor Puebla has the biggest trompo I've seen in Oakland, and after trying so much different Al Pastor in the town, this is my go-to spot now if I'm craving Al Pastor. Smoky, flavorful, with a hint of spices and sweetness, these tacos are some of the best tacos you can get in Oakland. The taqueros preparing the Al Pastor off the trompo here gets the slices of meat perfectly crispy, juicy, and thin for the perfect bites for each taco. They're set up on Fridays to Sundays, so if you come earlier in the day, you can avoid the craziness that happens on Coliseum Way once noon hits on a weekend for the flea market.
It's bomb.
Right next to Al Pastor Puebla is a tacos al vapor vendor who makes solid cabeza, lengua, and bistec. I've tried this spot a few times now, and if you want to hop around and get different tacos, it's worth trying. Their meats are all super tender, and their tortillas are steamed with their meat. It makes for some really good tacos.
They're so good. Best lengua I've ever had. Okay. So soft. Wow.
Down the street, I've also tried this Carnitas stand, which serves some of the better carnitas I've had in town. Prepared in a giant copper pot like authentic Carnitas Michoacan should be, you can get an up-close look at all the different cuts of the pork being used here. Definitely worth stopping at if you want some solid carnitas. A few times that I've walked by Doña Eli's stand, I've seen the sign for tacos de canasta, which are tacos steamed in a basket with various fillings. Doña Eli has tacos de canasta with frijoles or papa con chorizo, which she pulls out of the basket and then puts it back on her plancha to cook for a little bit more. Topped with some onions and salsa, I really enjoy these a lot, and make for some of my favorite breakfast items. Aside from the tacos de canasta, Doña Eli's stand serves pupusas mainly too, so of course I had to try one. Made fresh by hand, these are great pupusas, and her food is definitely worth a stop when you're here.
Papa con chorizo.
Right across the street is a gated area with a ton of vendors inside. There's chicken, pupusas, live music, pizza, and so much more. But the highlight in this lot is definitely the chicken. You can't miss the giant sign on the corner, and you can smell the smoky chicken already from a block away. I've ordered chicken here before a few times, and it's really just so smoky and flavorful. I usually just take the box home for dinner, and aside from the chicken already being hella good, their rice was some of the best Mexican rice I've ever had. If you're not exactly in the mood for tacos, or just want to switch it up, this is some of the best chicken you can get in the area.
Should we do a pizza?
During one of my trips to Coliseum Way, I saw an uni set up here, and got curious and had to try a pizza from them. They made me an Al Pastor pizza, which I really enjoyed. I'm a big fan of pizza making, which is something I've been doing for the last few years too at home, so I was really just analyzing how he was making the pizza. Fresh out the oven, the combination of the Al Pastor, cheese, and salsa verde made for some really solid slices. They were also some of the friendliest people I've met, which made the experience there even better. The Coliseum Way intersection is packed with street vendors, especially on weekends. It would take me months to try everything here, but I really might do it eventually. This area is worth stopping by on weekends, and I highly recommend you come with an empty stomach because you're going to want to try a few different spots. There are so many other taco spots around International and High Street, and we can't cover all of them in one episode either. El Novillo is a truck that's located in a parking lot on the corner of International and High Street, outside of a market I used to shop at all the time. Whenever I hit up this market, I'd grab a few tacos or a burrito too before heading back home. Good tacos, no frills. One of my favorite trucks in the area. Tacos El Gordo is another longtime classic out of Oakland. It's one of the first taco trucks I ever hit up in Oakland when I was younger, and this is generally what I've always thought of as the standard for a street taco from an Oakland taco truck. Located on the corner of 42nd and International, the brand has grown in the East Bay, with multiple locations now too. Open till hella late into the night, I've eaten so many tacos and burritos here after coming back from the city after a night out. Right around the corner from El Paisa, Xochimilco is another good taco option in the area too, right on 47th. Just like Fruitvale, there's so much food in the area and still so much I haven't tried yet. I've been to a lot of these spots countless times though, with friends, family, and it's hard to go wrong with any of these. This was our International and High Street taco tour, and next up, we'll be heading over to some spots west of Lake Merritt, and then heading into deep East Oakland. Is there anything else in the area that I missed? Let me know, and I'll definitely make the time to stop by. If you missed my Fruitvale taco tour, check that out too. See y'all next time. Peace.